Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Are there secret documents being held back by the SEC that could save XRP? Well, we're going to be talking about that in this video. There's a very pro-XRP attorney who says that's exactly what we are going to find out. I've also got this article from CoinDesk titled, Ripple CTO, all the evidence suggests XRP and Bitcoin are similar, contrary to SEC. And so this is David Schwartz, Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger. He was on a streaming interview with CoinDesk, and that's what this article is derived from. I'll tell you, anytime I have an opportunity to get perspective from David Schwartz, it's always exciting. He's just so insightful, and he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, he is quite literally a genius. And, I mean, hell, he created the XRP ledger with a couple other people, so that definitely stands for something. But I'll go ahead and get rolling here. Before I do, though, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind or a legal background. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast, a simple little moon Lambo who makes YouTube videos as a very fun hobby about Ripple and XRP and crypto, and that is all that's going on here. Take a look at this tweet from attorney John Deaton, very pro-XRP. I'm assuming that the vast majority of you are familiar with him at this point, but there's always new people coming on board here, so just know this. If you're new and you've not heard of John Deaton, he is taking the SEC to task. He's not with Ripple, and he's actually seeking to bring a class action lawsuit against the SEC. He's also about to file to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case. And one of the judges that's running this all, Judge Annalisa Torres, has written to John Deaton a formal legal document indicating that he absolutely has the right and can motion to file to intervene in the case. So it doesn't mean it's the intervention will be granted, but we'll find out probably sooner than later. And so bottom line is this guy is bringing the fire. There are not a lot of people, attorneys outside of what's happening with the Ripple and SEC that are actually taking action, but he feels like we do. We're just disgusted as XRP holders with this action by the SEC, bringing bogus allegations with all their hypocrisy, their lack of logic after 8 years of inaction. It's absolutely gross, and it's actually simply, I'm going to talk about it in this video too, like to me it's just like a brain explode moment, the fact that this is even reality right now. And I'll flesh that idea out too here, but here's a tweet from John Deaton. In 2017, Clayton, so that'd be Jay Clayton, the former SEC chair, he's working at his former employer now, among other things. He's doing all sorts of stuff right now, but on his last full day in office as SEC chair, he brought this suit against Ripple. So anyway, in 2017, Clayton and crew engaged in SEC campaign against ICOs. So let me stop there. Do you guys remember that? How many of you out there, raise your hand? We'll do this by show of hands. How many of you were around in 2017? I was towards the tail end. I jumped into crypto November 2017. I remember the ICO craze. It was nuts. There were all sorts of companies out there just creating tokens. It was a money grab. I mean, my gosh, there are all sorts of scam coins out there. Not a very safe environment necessarily for the uninformed, let's say. And so there were maybe some of these ideas were like good business models, but then there's a question: do you need blockchain technology to achieve your goals with this business model? Even if so, do you need a coin attached to that blockchain? Answer was typically no, but still, it's just there's such a frenzy around everything that anything that was a cryptocurrency that could be traded on exchanges, everything went parabolic just about. Like, it was absolute insanity. And so there were all sorts of suits brought against these central entities that were operating these initial coin offerings. Now, mind you, Ripple had been around since 2012. XRP had been live since very late 2012, I think is when it actually went live. It was created before Ripple was created, but it actually went live after that. And so it always struck me that, you know, even though there was no sufficient clarity technically at that time surrounding, at that time even Ethereum, but certainly not XRP, just the fact that there was all of this in action I was like, well, the SEC must, after all this time, surely they would have gone after Ripple if they thought that there was something shady going on or something illegal here. And then the more time passed, the more convinced I became of that. And I got to the point where really everyone in the XRP community, almost literally, would have said, yeah, there's no way the SEC is going to come after Ripple and allege that XRP is a security today. And we were all wrong about that because it just seems so infinitely unlikely and a ridiculous move, but that's what happened. And so John continues here. Ripple was not sued during this enforcement campaign. He's talking about the ICO enforcement campaign by the SEC. Brad Garlinghouse even spoke out against initial coin offerings. Could there be favorable documents showing the SEC didn't consider XRP a security during this time? Now, that's a big question. So you know that that Ripple, they filed all sorts of requests, whatever the technical terms are, in court. I know there was a FOIA request for sure, Freedom of Information Act, and in court also though, saying, hey, we need for our defense, we need all the internal documents that the SEC has about how they felt about XRP over the last X amount of years. What did they have to say about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Was there any comparison among those cryptocurrencies in determining whether or not XRP actually was a security? We need all of those documents, and now we know that that's been granted. We just found out that a couple days ago. In case you missed, that's a pretty big story. Frankly, it's important for Ripple to be able to defend themselves, and so you got to wonder though. Given that this suit wasn't brought until December 2020, just several months ago, against Ripple, what the hell did they think in 2017? Could there be documents that we may now discover in which they weren't sure what the hell XRP was? And if that's the case, why should Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson have believed that what they were doing was wrong if after all those years even the SEC wasn't sure what the hell XRP was? Were there any documents that they want to keep secret that would indicate that XRP was viewed by them back even in 2017 or prior, or the documents that would indicate that they thought that XRP was kind of like Ether or Bitcoin in any capacity, or that even just anything along the lines of XRP not being an initial coin offer, anything like this. Because in deciding who to go after in this enforcement campaign against all of these initial coin offerings, that you think Ripple didn't come up in conversation? I mean, you're talking about, depending on what point in time during the year, you're talking about like the number 3 or 4 cryptocurrency by market cap, and they didn't talk about Ripple and XRP, but they went after all these smaller new coins that popped up in 2017. Does that sound remotely likely? No, of course not. So you got to wonder, what are they hiding? Why are they trying so hard to keep all this buttoned up here? It's not a conspiracy. Like they are clearly making a concerted effort to hide information that is absolutely relevant to this case, and so it should all come out, and it's supposed to come out now that we had this most recent decision by the court. And then there was this from attorney John Deaton, XRP community. This is what the SEC lawyer said yesterday, and here's a quote. This is the SEC lawyer. As of June 2018, when Hinman made that speech, there was no use for XRP other than investment. It wasn't until October 2018 that Ripple commercially launched any use for XRP. Let's break that down. And that's end quote. So let's break that down. It is true that XRapid, which is now known as on-demand liquidity, utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, it did go live beginning of October 2018. But it actually was functionally being used before that. The pilot version of XRapid launched at some point roughly a year prior. I don't remember exactly. It could have been September, October, somewhere thereabout. And so it actually was functionally getting used the same way it was ultimately getting used in the production version. But it was just being tested to make sure that the kinks got worked out, this and that. But that was still actual utility. It was still actually moving money around the planet. It really, even in the little pilot form, or beta, whatever you want to call it, before it went commercially active, it was actually still getting used. So right there, it's not true. Then factor in all sorts of ways that people are choosing to utilize XRP. Have you moved Bitcoin from one exchange to another? Have you ever gotten money on board in one cryptocurrency exchange but wanted to buy something else on another exchange? People use XRP to move money around. So you'll purchase whatever. Maybe you purchase XRP on an exchange, then you'll move that XRP to another exchange where you want to buy some sort of other cryptocurrency that isn't offered on the first exchange, and you buy it there. Like all sorts of stuff like this happens. just to convert from one from one cryptocurrency to another. Now that's utility, and that's outside of speculation. That's outside of using it as purely as an investment. People use that for that purpose. They have on a daily basis. They've been doing that since pretty well the inception of XRP, ever since it was traded on exchanges, more than one exchange. Absolutely, for sure it has. And then there is also Coil. Now I can't remember when Coil went live, but for those of you not in the know, Coil is a company that invented a third form of web monetization. And so before them, in order for content creators to get paid on the internet, it required a paywall, meaning there's users that want to consume whatever content is in question, you pay a subscription fee, or there's advertisements on the internet. That was it. But there's a new way, thanks to blockchain technology, that can be used, and it allows money to be streamed in real time, just like you can stream content via Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or Vudu, pick your streaming service. Just like you can stream content to watch, now you can stream money in real time. And so with a blend of Interledger Protocol and XRP, which is utilized for settlement optionally, you can actually move money, stream money in real time to content creators. Wasn't possible before all this technology. That's real utility. Now, Coil wasn't founded until May of 2018. And here, this quote, they were citing June 2000, and this is a June 2018 speech in Hinman. And they're saying there wasn't any October until 2000, any utility until October 2018. I don't remember, and I don't have an easy way to find out when Coil went live. But the company certainly existed as of May 2018. So if they had anything up and running using XRP, I can't remember at this point when it launched. But it may be false for that reason too. There's all sorts of other use cases, and so it breaks down here. And so I love this comment. This is from somebody named Jim, who responded to John Deaton and wrote the following. I love this comment. He wrote, "Are they just saying stuff at this point without any thought on the counter argument to their ridiculous claims?" Right? And so I just shared with you like 3 points right off the top of my head. And there's all sorts more than that. So you kind of get the idea of this. They're just saying crap. And it's like, how the hell is this going to stand up in court? And so John Deaton responded to that, and he wrote, "I think they're saying whatever they can in the moment to try and win the argument. I find it disgusting. I've been a federal prosecutor, and sometimes your case just isn't the best case, and you should concede certain realities, but the SEC refuses." Ding, ding, ding. Round of applause for John Deaton. He is killing it. I need to heart that comment. I'm going to do that right now. Because I firmly believe, I've been stating that forever, that there's no way that the SEC can believe these bogus arguments that they're making. It's definitely not ethical. Even if they're not breaking the law by doing this, it's sure as hell not ethical. They can't believe this because no one can be that stupid. And especially, I don't think these people are stupid. I think they're intelligent people. They're lawyers. I mean, you have to have a certain level of intelligence just to even become a lawyer and to get hired at the SEC, no less. And you're telling me that they don't know that what they're saying is complete crap? No. They know. They know what they're doing, and it's awful. It's disgusting behavior. I'm on board with what John Deaton stating there. And then there was this. I have this from John Deaton. "I have the transcript from yesterday's hearing. The SEC attorney said that, quote, defendants claim XRP is similar to Bitcoin and ETH, and that's just wrong, end quote." And then John continues. He went on to say that neither Bitcoin or Ethereum ever had a central authority that sold the tokens. What the ever-loving hell? And John wrote, "Truth matters. They never had a central authority." Let's just talk about Ethereum because that's the easier one. That's the easier claim to debunk here. Here's a video clip which I've highlighted on this channel before, in which I'm not going to play it, but it's Vitalik Buterin. I can't remember when the launch was. It 2015? I think it was 2015. And he cited in this clip that their model, it's a distribution model in which they're actually selling. So we're talking like this is the beginning of Ethereum. They hold the tokens, and they're explaining their scheme to sell them. This is a central authority doing that. And so if you want to compare that to Ripple, then fine, but don't pretend like then that Ripple and the Ethereum Foundation aren't similar. It's completely bogus. It's nonsense. It's made up crap here. And if Ethereum, and they claim this, that Ethereum is not a security, well, how the hell is that the case? Because actually in this clip too, worth mentioning, he cites that part of their distribution model is based off of what Ripple did. So if Ethereum is in the clear, why the hell isn't Ripple? So the SEC is clearly just making crap up here. And so somebody named Tip responded to what John Deaton wrote there and said, "Will the judge see this as the SEC being dishonest, or do they just assume think they're ignorant?" Which is a great question. And John responded, I think she is super smart and observant. She asks great questions and sees through the BS. That's why Ripple won the discovery issue. She saw through the argument. Exactly. So I don't think that this stuff is going to go well for the SEC. They've got crap arguments, and it's just not going to be. It's not going to be a winning position for them. Now to this piece from CoinDesk. Ripple CTO. All the evidence suggests XRP and Bitcoin are similar, contrary to the SEC. The chief technology officer of Ripple, David Schwartz, said on CoinDesk TV that, quote, all the evidence, end quote, suggests Bitcoin and XRP are similar despite allegations XRP is being sold illegally as a security. Speaking during First Mover on Wednesday, Schwartz said, quote, the market considers them similar, we consider them similar, end quote. Ripple is in the midst of defending itself against a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission action, alleging the company and two of its executives violated U.S. securities laws in selling XRP to retail consumers. The SEC action came out of nowhere, said Schwartz, who said XRP and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are completely different. The Ripple CTO also used his television appearance to allay fears XRP holders may have about whether certain outcomes of the lawsuit could result in Ripple ceasing operations. And here's a quote. The market caps of these systems are in the billions of dollars. People acting in their own self-interest are not going to allow the ecosystem to die if there's a way to save it, he said. That's all that's holding these systems together. The governing bodies don't have any legal authority to control these systems. You have to think that people will be able to come together enough to fix it, end quote. XRP has enjoyed a price rally in recent days, surging above the $1 mark for the first time in 3 years Tuesday. And Schwartz was hesitant to offer firm reasons for this increase, but suggested that rumors of a relisting of XRP by Coinbase might have triggered some upward movement. And so he did say might. I do not believe that's the case. And actually, David Schwartz, as you'll see in a second, he doesn't even believe it. He's just coming up with things that maybe potentially did. I think it's close to a 0% chance that's the case. If you just look based on what the charts were saying, it was time for this thing to pop anyway. And people in hindsight, you can always try and apply a narrative, but that's almost never the case. It's almost never about fundamentals, at least at this point in time with how nascent the asset class is here. But another factor, he said, quote, the hearing in the case where Ripple was granted access to SEC documents might have impacted the price, end quote. But he admitted that there's really no way to know. And so it's a fair enough point to anybody that thinks that added a factor. That's fine. We can agree to disagree on that. I'm just not persuaded by these types of arguments. Because you see all sorts of similar types of activities in the news all the time that doesn't move the price at all. You've seen all sorts of stories like this. They don't move the price at all. Now, it happens to be the case that another similar story happened to be in conjunction with the price move, so now it must have caused it. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy that. We've seen too many similar stories that just don't move the price. And so there's always something happening with XRP. Whatever's in the news that day, oh, it must be that then. I'm not persuaded by that. So that's just my position. But it's okay if you guys disagree. I like diversity of thought. But I will wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.